Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the March 10th. That's the Taco Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, how about that? The markets aren't completely red. In fact, the only thing in the red right now is the Russell 2000 and the spot volatility index, indice-wise. Listen, I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more important than that, during this next hour, I'm here to serve you. So feel free. You can give us a call at 877-927-6648. If you can't call in, well, you can always send me an email. Let those fingers do the walking. Steve at TFNN.com. That's my email address. Please put radio show question in that subject heading. And, of course, in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to Lush Show. Right now, we got the Dow up 252 points, S&P 35, NASDAQ 146. It's a little over 1%, nearly 2% in the case of the NASDAQ. Same with the semiconductor index, up 28 points out there. The Russell 2000 struggling. That's off 3 points, about 0.25% to the downside. Gold is trading down $21. Silver off 16 pennies. Light sweet crude up $2.69. Natural gas up 12 cents. It's a nice move there. Treasury bonds, the 30-year is down almost 3 points as we speak right now, 2 and 31/30 seconds out there. Dollar-wise to the upside, leading the charge, it's Amazon, up $47. Transdigm Group up 28. BlackRock 26. Mercado Libre 25. Tesla 23. To the downside, Booking Holdings is off $22. Sort of makes sense out there. A travel company. Watsco down 11. Nextera Energy off 11. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. The first request came in from Peter in the den, and Peter just wanted to take a look at the general markets. So let's go take a look at the general markets out here, Peter. In fact, let's start by taking a look at this. What is this, Steve-O? This is one of the market analyzers. It's included in the evening or the daily newsletter. I try to do an evening newsletter, at least Monday through Thursday, and then one over the weekend. Just a recap for folks what transpired during the day, what new signals may have formed. Of course, we're looking at it now, and so some of these new signals that are out here are new signals that may have formed today as well. In fact, if they're highlighted in green, it tells you it's a signal that's occurred here during the last 24 hours. Now, or sometimes I include it in the morning daily newsletter. So if you've been a listener of the show, you know I use a handful of tools to help us identify potential tops or bottoms out there. The one signal that is my favorite of all, not because I named it the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, just because of how versatile it is and how well that it works in all time frames, all instruments, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. But if you take a look at, Peter, each of you out there, each of you watch Tiger TV inside the Tiger's Den, pay close attention to column number 4 from the left. It says D for daily, dash RMI, Rhodes Momentum Indicator. And take a look at all the indices that have triggered the signal. They all say signal. Nothing says confirmed just yet, other than the UNG and natural gas. That says bottom confirmed out there. So you got to ask yourself, and gold's got the top confirmed and the GLD. And then you can move over to the further over to the right. You can see the current TD9 counts out here. You can see any Chapman wave counts to the upside, although I wonder if I update that. I don't want to do that right now. That would give it, and you can see the down counts that are out here. So I don't know how Mylan got in there. That's interesting. I've got Mylan in here, MYL. Somebody must have asked me to put it in there, but it's in wave number 7 to the downside, letter G. You've got the weekly charts out here. So you've got a bottom signal and alternative harvest on the weekly. But in any event, Peter, really, let me get back to your question. You wanted me to take a look at the general markets. All the general markets are doing the same thing. So it's not that just mentally we might feel that after this gigantic downdraft that markets might be stretched. It's not just the stretching that's important. It is how it is stretched out there. And so here what we've got, Peter, are a bunch of bottoming signals. So how do we know if these signals are going to turn into something more? It's really going to be, so let's go look at an example or a couple examples of those. But what the markets are trying to do is bottom. Have they bottomed? Right, that's the question. The reality is that's daily time frame that we're looking at. You and I won't know the answer to that until we know what the close of the day is. If you know what today's close is going to be by instrument, then I could tell you whether or not that instrument or that indice has bottomed. For example, let's take a look at the daily chart here for the ES Mini. I know we were taking a look at indices when I took a look at that chart, but we're going to take a look at the equity futures contracts, which are showing the same signals out here. And here's what we can see. We can see this is the ES Mini. We can see even today's intra-session push lower. That would have been last night, actually. That again, prices moving lower, doing less relative energy out there. And if we get a bullish reversal candle, and the one bearish reversal candle that could form would be a piercing candle. So a piercing candle, in this case here, Peter, price needs to close about midway, not about, it's got to be at least midway into the bar, yesterday's bar out here. Just visually looking at it is probably in the 28, 25, 28, 30, 28, 25 to 28, 30 type area. Although don't pin me down on that number here. I'd really have to do the mathematical calculation. But if we do get a bullish piercing candle, that's one of the candles that could form, then that would signal that the ES Mini has generated a buyable bottom. Is it a bottom? Well, we won't know until we see price start taking on resistance levels. One of the clear resistance levels on this daily time frame chart for the ES Mini is 29.89, give or take out here. That's Stevie's red line, the oscillator unchanged line out there. So what are the markets trying to do? They're trying to bottom. What did they do earlier in the day up to about 6 o'clock this morning? They most certainly tried to bottom by generating what appeared to be a bullish reversal candle. But again, until the day ends out here, we won't have that. What happens if we don't get the bullish reversal candle? Well, then I don't have a bottoming confirmation out there. This is the ES Mini. And more likely than not, it will be the equity futures contracts that will generate the bottom signals. Be very difficult, not impossible, but very difficult for the cash indices to do the same. That's the benefit of having, 23 plus hours worth of trading information when you're doing price discovery. If you're just going to use 6.5 hours out there, you're just doing yourself an absolute disservice. Not a little disservice, an absolute disservice. Now, if we take a look at the NQ out here, it's closer towards that piercing candle. It's trading about 81.23. Again, price moving lower, doing less relative energy. Interestingly enough, I don't believe there was a lower low inside the NQ last night. That's a little bullish signal out there, small to go along with everything else, but doesn't matter whether it did or it didn't. Of course, I just said that it did matter. The point is that price has been moving lower, generating that with less relative energy, generating that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. I would say if the NQ closes, probably closes above 81.40, 50, certainly 8200, you'd have your bullish piercing candle, suggesting a move up to about the 86.36 area at a minimum. We'll be right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So the number on the NQ, it's 8142. And I know that because I've been more trading at 8135. But just during the commercial, we've been up to 8142. And on my other chart out there, I could see it flash. Okay, that was the piercing candle. That was about the halfway. That was the halfway point inside yesterday's body of the candle. So I had mentioned earlier, let me just pull this over here. So here's the NDX 100. That it's not impossible for us to see bullish reversal candles today inside the cash indices. It's just a little bit more difficult. Now, in the case of the NDX 100 yesterday, it created an invert, really two candles. It created a bearish candle that was called the gap to the downside or a falling window, but it also created an inverted hammer. And inverted hammer is actually kind of like a hanging man, just the opposite of it. And it's supposed to be, or it's classified from a Japanese candlestick standpoint as a bullish candle out there. I've never treated them either the hanging man or the inverted hammer as either the bearish or the bullish signal. Because if you take a look at this inverted hammer, take a look at that, especially yesterday's. Look at that long wick out there. And the wick tells us about the emotional value during the trading session out here. But look at how sellers were able to push price all the way down towards the low of the day out there. It is technically a bullish reversal candle. Does Stevie use it to confirm patterns? I don't. And I'm not going to change that view just to tell you some kind of a story. I ain't that kind of guy out there. But what we can see here, same pattern that was associated and finally did identify the top inside the NDX 100, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. You now have a present here at the bottom in the cash indices. So I'd really be focusing on both the cash indices and see what signals they generate for us at the end of the day, if any, as well as the equity futures contracts. But I put more weight inside the equity futures contracts. Now, as price was pulling back this morning, into the 11:30, 12 o'clock time frame, you were probably asking yourself, where was it pulling back? Well, what happened out there? So I'll put this up here. I've shared this before, not too often. I know that Larry likes to talk about the opening range. So in the opening range, when he's referring to it, he's taking a look at the cash market. to best of my knowledge, and he's looking at that first 30 minutes worth of trading out here. Inside the equity futures contract, you can do the same thing. This here is showing you the actual opening range. Those are the black lines that are on my chart out here. That's showing you the opening range of the NQ, the daily NQ. But of course, what it's using is that first 30-minute bar, so 6 p.m. to 6:30 in the evening. And oftentimes, if you take a look at trading the opening range, especially like last night, a great example where you're not sure, you saw the rally with the Dow being down 300-400 points, whatever, and then not really whatever. And then I believe that the administration began with the news conference. Things started perking up a bit. But if you just use the opening range and look, if you start trading above the top of the opening range, it's giving you a bullish sentiment. Sentiment, is that the right word? No, bullish. A bullish weighting. I don't know what the right word is. Somebody else out there knows what word I'm looking for, because clearly I don't. Likewise, if you break through and you start trading below the bottom, the bias, I suppose that'd be the better word. The bias would be to the downside, trading below the opening range, bias to the upside. Now, believe it or not, these things can also act as support or resistance. I don't make this stuff up. I just put these tools on the chart, and it really can help and assist you with understanding what the market might be doing. Come back here. When I say here, we're just looking at about 6 p.m. on March the 4th. Take a look at its narrow range, opening range out here. Look at how many times, three times, price tried getting back inside there, deflected, and price moved lower. So price, what it did during this morning was it pulled back, and it really tested the opening range, and since then it has taken off to the top side. Top side, man, it's found support and it's moved higher, right? Because right now we just have a retracement from high to low this morning, and we don't know if this is an A to B equals CD to the upside or anything else. So just another piece of information. Again, you don't have to trade the futures, but if you want to time the markets, do you need access to the futures? Absolutely. And you can get it all. Look, look, just the charting application that I use out here, this Ninja Trader, it's free. It's free to download. They give you free end-of-day data out there. You can trade from this platform right directly into your broker, or most brokers, or many brokers out there. You can get this. You can identify the first 30-minute bar out there. In fact, you can get a non-professional subscription to the CME, and I think it's like $5 a month. As long as you've got access to a futures account, you can open up a futures account. You don't have to put a lot of money in there and just kind of connect the dots. So in any event, if you've got interest in something like that or want to know more, you just send me an email, steve@tfnn.com, and I'll give you more information versus spending the time now. The reason is because we've got a caller, and we've got call-ahead seating. So let's go out to Martinez, California, and speak with Brent. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing quite well, Steve. Thanks so much for taking the call. And how are you doing yourself?
Doing very well. Thank you for asking. And doing really well. Was at a eye doctor appointment. How are your eyes? Do you wear glasses or anything like that?
I do just for like reading, and if it's low light. And I did notice probably when I got to about 40.
Yes.
It started to diminish as far as I've always had good vision, but there's no question that you started to see some deterioration and just a need to, wear reading glasses. And as far as any distance, I'm fine. But if it's kind of lower light, like say I'm in a restaurant, you're trying to look at a menu and the lighting is kind of not that great.
Yes.
I'm pretty much have to have glasses, yeah.
Yes. Well, we have I'm glad to hear that. And for me, it's almost really the exact opposite. So distance is my problem. And so you talked about, when you hit your 40s, all of a sudden things seem like maybe it's not exactly as it was when we were just 39 or what have you. And I can remember as my eyes started to go bad, but I didn't want to believe it. When I walked through a grocery store, that's where I saw it the most. They got the signs up in the top hanging down from the ceiling to tell you what's inside the aisles. And usually to read those signs, I'd have to kind of make take my index finger and make a small, like it was a magnifying glass, put it up to my eye. And believe it or not, that worked to be able to clearly read the signs. But anyways, I was at the eye doctor and got some good news today that I was looking for. So March 10th is a good day. But in any event, you don't want to hear about that, nor does anybody else. But you wanted to talk about, I believe, natural gas?
Yeah, I had a few things, if you don't mind. I mean, we
Sure.
can touch on that. I did want to, at some point, maybe, and you've probably already gone over some of it because I just came into the show here just within the last few minutes. But
no problem.
I was noticing that we went a little lower in all the futures contracts when they opened yesterday, and then at the moment, of course, we're above those levels. And I guess there's some potential there to have a bullish reversal candle today, depending on how things play out at the end of the day.
Yes.
And maybe you can touch on that if you haven't already. But, yeah, I was going to ask you about natural gas. I saw we had a pretty nice reversal yesterday, went to a lower low, ended positive, and then we're having some fall through today. So I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so, yesterday was really for the bulls, yesterday was a signal that you were looking for natural gas. And as Brent was pointing out, we're about to go to break here, but you can see the price was pushing lower. Those black diagonal lines, folks, are drawn automatically by my system. They tell us whether the move lower is with energy or not. This was with less energy. We come back from this break, we'll go look at the top of the profile because this is the key level of resistance now for the buyers. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're on the line with Brent in Martinez, California. We're taking a look at natural gas. And actually, Brent, I'm glad that you even just brought this up, just simply from the standpoint that, folks, this is what we're looking at is the same type of signal that you'd like to see inside the equity futures contracts, even the cash indices if they could form. But our focus this afternoon has really been that it's more likely if there's going to be a bullish reversal candle form, it would more likely be in the equity futures contract. Here yesterday, as Brent was pointing out, was and there's two Rhodes momentum indicator signals here when we take a look at the daily contract. The first one that we're looking at was on February 28th. Now, price moved lower, did it with less relative energy, was doing it the day before as well. It's been doing it for quite some time, but it was the following trading session, and that was on March 2nd out there. It's a bull sash candle. That means that the low of the prior session is support. And even that low was tested, and that held, so that support level is held. Plus, it created another bullish reversal candle, the bullish engulfing candle, and a key reversal as well because the prior session's high and low was exceeded yesterday. And now what we see is follow through to the upside. So price is back inside the box. That's really its next level of resistance, Brent, that price must close above. It's a bearish structured profile, meaning the center line is much closer to the top than the bottom out here. And that number is 1.90 or 1.901 out there. And if price can clear that, then we switch back over here to this chart, and that would suggest that we would see a move up to at least the top of the weekly profile, and that's in the 1.992 area. We never know whether resistance will be busted through or not, but it would be certainly bullish if, in fact, natural gas today could close above 1.901. So 1.902 would be good. You're with me, Brent? You there? Uh-oh. Did I lose Brent? Oh, that would be a bummer. Do I have anybody? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Anybody in the den? I think I'm still alive. Yeah, got to be still alive. I don't know what happened. Yes, we hear you. Okay, well, thanks, everybody. I don't know how we lost. Good. I don't know how we lost Brent, but we did. My apologies. So, Brent, I hope that helps you out. And then you had asked about just the equity markets here. And so I did cover those, but I'll just really come back very quickly, circle back around. That way, everybody can kind of make sense of what it is that Stevie's looking at out here. And on the NQ, we can see that also prices pushing lower, doing with less relative energy. It has been doing that for the last three sessions. Here's the first session where we might get a bullish reversal candle. 8142 is the number inside the NQ. A close above 8142 today would generate your bullish piercing candle. It's not the best of bullish reversal signals, but that would be one that Stevie would use out there and that I do use consistently, which would be that bullish piercing candle. So, Brent, I hope that helps you out. Feel free to call back in if you want me to take a look at something else. We did get an email here from Robert. Robert writes in and he says, Steve, would you take a look at UNG? Okay, well, that's timely. So, Robert, we sort of did that. I know you wanted to look at UNG itself, so let's do this here. Let's go to the three time frames. But for UNG, Robert, you really have got to be watching the futures contract. So that's really where you're going to get your best signals out here. But we have the same, I'm sure we have, well, I don't know for sure. I don't want to say something if we don't have it. So let me just expand out this chart here. Let's go ahead and, it's not going to have profiles on it. That's okay. Let me just expand this out here for you, Robert. UNG. And so this also generated a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. Now, this did it several days ago. This did it look like on maybe the 29th out there. So it's now, it is also suggesting that price could rise to 1675. That's not the price target that I would give you right now. You really have to watch what's going on inside the futures contract, and I would watch both that daily top of the box and the monthly. We do have a caller on the line, and that is, looks like Scott in Colorado Springs. Scott, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
Hi, Steve. Good. How are you?
Very good. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Good.
And
Good.
What did you want to look at the U.S. dollar today? Was that what we were?
The dollar yen on a daily chart.
Okay.
I have it on a TD9 count. It actually printed a lower 10 bar, and now we right now so far have quite the two candles there. I'm wondering if you see a pretty good bottom in here.
So we see the potential for a bottom. As you nailed it again, in that this did complete a TD9 count, and it did it on the bar following bar 9. Today, you've got a piercing candle. We were talking about piercing candles in the equity futures contracts and where they needed to be. You can see how today's bar is well inside the midway point of yesterday's bar. So what this would suggest to me at a minimum, Scott, is that we would see a move up to the oscillator unchanged line. Currently, that's printing out at 106 and change. Right now, it says 106 in the 70s out there. The reason I would say that is most likely the pattern is because the oscillator and change line had switched from green to red, and it did it on the trading day of March 2nd. And typically, what that tells us is we will see an eventual meet and greet between price and it. And so you've got the valid bottoming signal out here, or at least counter trend rally signal. And this would suggest that this is on its way to performing that test to move up to and if price can get above that level of 106.78, then you can see it move all the way up to 111.04. But yeah, you've nailed it that way. What are you going to do with that information? You already had it. So now what are you going to do? Or what have you done?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm long from 102.41.
Okay.
I get in a little early on that 10 bar, especially something like that, because there's so much room for it to go down that a lot of times I feel, is it going to go all the way back down there? Of course it could, but sure. I have found that on a bar like the 10 bar is, usually it doesn't go, I mean, it does, like you always say, nothing works 100% of the time.
No doubt about that.
But I find that on a bar like that, price usually doesn't get very far down to test that bar anymore. It kind of heads the other direction.
Yeah. So here's what I can do for you, just because it's easier for me to populate my chart and give you these values here. On a 30-minute basis, where the U.S. dollar Japanese yen broke down was 100.27. So I like your entry. I like the way that the trade looks right now. And watch that 100.27. If price can close above that for 2 30-minute bars, it doesn't have to do it any time, but just watch that. That's the next short-term resistance level. 104.66 is actually another one. That's the current 30-minute bar that's out there. But otherwise, looks like a good trade, and you've got plenty of room for your stop out there. So that's a beautiful thing. And it looks like price should make its way up towards that 106 and 70 change out there. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it much.
You bet. Thanks so much for calling. That was Scott in Colorado Springs. I see we've got Brent back, and so when we get back from this break, folks, we'll go back to Brent in Martinez, California. Dow's up 342, S&P 46, NASDAQ up 176. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow up 250, S&P 35. Let's go back out to Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling back. So we were taking a look at natural gas. Did you get the levels and everything there?
I did. Can you hear me okay, Steve?
Yep, can hear you just fine. And
okay,
then
good.
I was mentioning to you, I believe the number is 8242 or something like that would be the number inside the NQ at its close today. If it's trading there or above that, that would generate a bullish reversal candle.
Okay.
Yeah. So what next can we do? Can we take a look at?
Oh, I guess I just didn't want to end the call in that fashion.
No,
mainly.
Okay.
I want to at least say thank you. And I was personally buying some stuff yesterday. In particular, in the energy sector, just to me was completely decimated in a way that was overdone, and we'll see how it plays out, going forward.
Anything you want me to look at for you?
Oh, I think this stuff we can go over in the future, but I just wanted to call back and thank you, and just have yourself a great day, and I'm sure we'll talk soon, and I appreciate the analysis. You
bet. You're very kind. Thanks so much for doing that. Much appreciated.
All right, you take care, Steve.
All righty. So let's go. Let's take a spin around the markets out here. Let's continue taking a look at some of the tools and indicators that we have. If we take a look at the spot volatility index right now, trading out at 52.41. There was a slight close above 54.39 yesterday. That was the shooting star candle, and that was also generated. That had also generated Rhodes momentum indicator topping pattern out there. So it's not really clean. It's not perfect. It's not ideal. So I won't say that there's a definite confirmed top inside of the spot volatility index. However, if it continues to move lower, its target to the downside becomes $30.86 out there. If we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, one of the ways the New York Stock Exchange can form bottoming patterns would be where price begins to. So this is different than the Rhodes momentum indicator, but it is the same kind of a pattern, a divergence type pattern. So the divergences that really help us. And the divergence here that we're looking at is where price makes a lower low, but the advanced decline oscillator makes a higher low. And on this chart here, you can see all of those different signals and the way that in the past that they have responded and reacted out here. And each time one of those signals does form, if we take a look at it, price typically gets back up to its recent highs out here. I know you heard me, right? But if you just take a look at each of these examples, that's what has unfolded. Yeah, I know. I know it's hard for you to believe or see it with your own eyes. Let's just say at least the most recent highs would be the swing point back here at about the 12,999 level. Now the New York Stock Exchange candle, I can just tell by looking at this. No way that's a bullish reversal signal, although I do know the price is moving lower, doing less relative energy out there. But what the more important point here is that the way that the New York Stock Exchange will form its bottom, it can just go from a totally oversold condition, such as back on December 26th last year, and then just simply take off. Big short covering rally, just continue moving to the upside out there. But the majority of the times, as you can see on my screen out here, especially when you get down below the minus 150, and we're not talking the minus 150, we got down to minus 3 something, right? 346 or something like that. 374. I don't know where the 46 and the 74 is. Dyslexic, which is good because it means that you can see things differently out there. Yeah, and in this game here that you and I are playing, being able to see things differently is really important. So you got that signal here in the New York Stock Exchange again, trying to form a bottom. Has it confirmed it? The answer is no. If we look at the primary trading range boundaries for the S&P out here, this is kind of interesting. If you take a look at just simply a trend channel, here these are the yellows, a weekly chart that we're looking at. So here's the trend channel, and price yesterday pulled back right into it, the S&P, and thus far it is held. So we can identify a level of support. The resistance is at 2850. And so price really needs to the S&P needs to regain that level to at least send price up to the top of the trend channel out there. The top of the trend channel is in the 3,100-ish to 3,200, just depending on time, when price might get up there. So that's interesting. How about gold? What is gold doing? You know, somebody's got to have an interest in what gold is doing out here. So let's take a look at it. A couple of different things. So if we take a look at Goldilocks, what's it doing today? Moving lower in terms of dollars, slightly higher in terms of euros, higher in terms of yen, higher in terms of pound sterling, just slightly. So we've got this no conviction when it comes to the global flow of traders out there. No real conviction yet with regard to gold and where it wants to go. Now, what is important, there is a new profile that had formed out here. And that new, or is attempting to form, because I'm using Stevie's advanced Doppler tool out here. And so support is 1690. I'm sorry, resistance is 1690, and support is 1620. So right now, even though we've got topping signals inside of gold, it's really just consolidating in between support and resistance. Again, 1690 as resistance, 1620 as support. If we take a look at its horizontal trading range, well, price simply pooped out, so to speak, right at its weekly horizontal trading range level of 1695. You can see a nice little rising price channel inside of gold out here. So it's really just, in this case here, consolidated between a key level of support and resistance. Resistance 1695, support 1628. I don't recall how those tie in to the profiles. I had a question from Jeff, and Jeff wanted me to identify the pivot point for the perigee lunar phase that came in at, 223 or so this morning. And Jeff, I'll go back and make sure it's dead balls accurate. That's a quote that's an expression from my cousin Vinny, brought to us by Marissa Torme out there. And so you got to love being able to use that. And so 82.32. or 82.31 or 82.33. That is your perigee pivot point. Price is trading below that right now. It's not ideal. If price could trade above that, that would be more of a bullish signal out there. So that's what I see. That's what Stevie sees when he takes a look at the markets out there. When we began the show by just taking a look at the indices, and one of the tools that subscribers get to help assist us. We took a look at the indices. I'll show you a couple other ones out here. If we take a look at the daily time frame for the Dow 30 stocks, and the Dow is not really performing that great. But if you look again here in column number 4, you can take a look at all of the Dow stocks that are also trying to form a bottom, utilizing that Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal out here. So you've got Pfizer, you've got ExxonMobil, Cisco, Nike, Intel, Coca-Cola, Disney, Travelers, Walgreens, Chevron, 3M, Goldman Sachs, McDonald's, Visa, Home Depot, American Express, and United Technologies. Now, if any of those are individual equities that you want in your portfolio, then you really should be monitoring those individual stocks. They haven't confirmed the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal, but they've got signals over there that if they do generate a bullish reversal candle, then as my Gus would say from my big fat Greek wedding, there you go. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. So let's take a look at a couple of market breadth tools out here. This is the you're just looking. Well, let me do this here. Make it even easier so you know exactly what you're looking at. So this is the market breadth calculator for the NDX 100. Now, this is the 1 hour time frame. We had a nice little bullish crossover that took place right out here at about 8 o'clock this morning. We just had a crossover at about 12 noon out here, bearish crossover that is. Now, what that means is that right now as we speak, 35 of the constituents inside the NDX 100 are trading above their daily profile, and 39 are trading below the bottom. So it's somewhat even, but it is tilted in the hands of the sellers. So how to use that? Well, we go take a look at the 60-minute time frame chart for the ES Mini, see what patterns are present out here. By the way, the breakout level on a 60-minute basis for the ES Mini is 26.95 That began last night, 9 consecutive closes, where each close was above the close of the bar 4 bars earlier out there. So that's the pattern that's in play on the ES Mini. I was ES. Why did I do that? It was the NQ. We're taking a look at the NQ. My apology. Don't worry, I'll eventually figure it out. So here's the NQ. And its breakout level, also the low last night at 78.14. Price is trading below its 60-minute profile. It's rejecting Stevie's red line out there. So only a close above 82.76 would suggest that you're off to the race. Now, that's the profile that's in place right now at 1:55 in the afternoon. New profiles can form. But do we see some selling pressure out there on a 30-minute basis? What the contracts did, the NQ, the ES, what they did was they confirmed a Gartley buy pattern earlier. Here's your Gartley buy pattern. It does it after a TD9 count on the 30-minute basis, and it forms that 3-river morning star. That was your bullish reversal candle. The key now is closing above Stevie's red line, currently priced at $27.90. Folks, thanks so much for being here. Hope this has been helpful to you. Stay tuned. 2 great hours coming up. Your favorite polar bear, David White's up next. Tom O'Brien after that. And I'll be back with you on Wonderful Wednesday. Have a terrific Tuesday.